In 2025, HR software has moved way beyond spreadsheets and clunky systems. Today's tools use automation and AI to save recruiters time, help HR teams manage compliance, and even predict when employees might be at the risk of leaving. But here's the challenge. There are hundreds of options out there, and not all of them are worth the investment. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 7 best HR tools to use in 2025. I'll explain how they work, what they cost, where they shine, while also sharing the downsides you'll want to keep in mind. Whether you're running a recruitment agency, leading a global team, or just managing HR for a small company, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which platforms are worth considering. Let's start with the big picture. The HR software market has exploded in the last 2 years, growing to more than $24 billion globally, and much of that growth is being driven by AI. Remote, hybrid work changed expectations. Employees want self-service options, recruiters want faster ways to screen and schedule candidates, and HR leaders want better data to make better decisions. So the best HR tools in 2025 aren't just about storing employee records, they're about automating repetitive tasks like payroll and scheduling, analyzing workforce trends, and also making compliance less of a headache. So with that context, let's get into the tools. The first tool we have to talk about is Workday. Workday has long been one of the most powerful HR systems in the enterprise space, covering payroll, talent management, and workforce planning. What really makes it stand out in 2025 is its integration with Paradox, an AI-powered recruiting platform that Workday acquired. This combination means Workday can now screen candidates, automatically schedule interviews, and even answer applicant questions through conversational AI. Pricing is a little bit on the higher side, often around $100 per employee per month, so it's not a fit for every company. But for larger organizations, the value is clear. A healthcare company with 2,000 employees, for example, can use Workday to automatically schedule candidate interviews while also running payroll and staying compliant with healthcare-specific labor laws. The trade-off is that Workday can be complex and expensive, but for big companies, it's a system that truly scales. Now, if Workday feels too heavy or too enterprise for your team, there's a newer platform that's become incredibly popular with startups and mid-sized businesses. That's Rippling. Rippling is one of the fastest growing HR platforms, and it's known for its automation-first design. Unlike older systems, Rippling doesn't just cover payroll and benefits, it also manages IT tasks like setting up laptops and software accounts for new hires. That's a huge time saver for fast-growing teams. The cost starts at just $8 per employee per month, though it rises as you add payroll or IT modules. Still, compared to legacy systems, it's actually quite affordable. A great example is a 200-person software company that's hiring quickly. With Rippling, they can onboard 20 new engineers in a single week, automatically set up payroll, assign company laptops, and even give access to the right apps on day one. Well, the downside is that because Rippling is modular, costs can creep up if you need everything, and some of the most advanced features are still catching up to the big enterprise systems. But for a growing business, Rippling feels modern, clean, and much easier to manage. But what if your company isn't just growing locally? What if you're hiring in multiple countries? That's where Deel really shines. Deel has become the go-to HR platform for global payroll and compliance. Originally built to pay international contractors, it's now expanded into a full HR suite. Today, you can use Deel to hire employees in more than 100 countries without setting up a local entity. It also handles contractor payments, tax documents, and compliance across borders. One of the reasons Deel is getting so much attention in 2025 is because it's building out AI-driven workflows. These include automating leave requests, managing offboarding, and supporting recruiters in finding international talent. Pricing starts at $49 per month for contractor payroll and goes up to around $599 per employee per month for full employer of record services. That may sound expensive, but for a 50-person digital marketing agency with staff in the US, Europe, and Asia, it's much cheaper than creating legal entities in each country. The main limitation is that Deel is overkill for small single-country teams, but for global organizations, it's one of the most complete solutions out there. Real quick, if you ever thought about starting your own recruitment agency or you're a recruiter struggling to land clients, you'll want to check out our coaching and implementation program. Inside, I give you the exact scripts, the outreach templates, and acquisition systems I used to hit over $500,000 my first year, scale to over $100,000 months, and do over $5 million in placements on my own desk. Our students are already hitting $30,000, $50,000, even $80,000 per month or more, many of them doing it part-time. So if you want to learn the same playbook, the link's below. It's exactly what I use. Now back to the video. Not every HR problem is about hiring or payroll. Sometimes the real challenge is dealing with employee records and workplace issues. That's where HR Acuity comes in. HR Acuity is different from most HR platforms because it focuses on employee relations and case management. Companies use it to track workplace issues, handle investigations, and make sure sensitive cases are managed consistently. consistently. In 2025, HR Acuity added an AI assistant called Oliver, which helps HR teams spot patterns in employee relations data and suggest best practices for resolving issues. This tool is particularly valuable for large organizations where misconduct or complaints can lead to legal risks. Pricing is custom and generally aimed at enterprises, but the return on investment can be significant. Take a retail chain with 10,000 employees. HR Acuity allows them to document and resolve workplace issues consistently across hundreds of stores. The downside is that it's not a complete HRIS, so you still need a core HR system alongside it. But as a specialized tool, it's one of the most advanced in its space. Of course, HR isn't just about compliance, engagement, and retention matter just as much as well. That's where Culture Amp is widely used. Culture Amp is all about listening to employees and acting on feedback. The platform lets companies run engagement surveys, conduct 360-degree reviews, and analyze workplace culture. What makes it stand out is its predictive analytics. Culture AI can identify which teams are at the highest risk of turnover and help HR leaders take action. Pricing typically starts around $5,000 per year for smaller organizations, and while that can feel high, it's often worth it when you consider the cost of losing top talent. For example, a 500-person SaaS company struggling with turnover might use Culture Amp to discover that their engineering team feels undervalued compared to other departments. By addressing that feedback with new recognition programs or career paths, they can reduce attrition by several percentage points. The only drawback is that it requires HR leaders to actually follow through on the insights, otherwise the surveys can become meaningless. But when used properly, Culture Amp is a powerful tool. Now, if you're a mid-sized company looking for a modern HR core system that's less clunky than the big enterprise platforms, then Hibob is a strong contender. Hibob, often just called Bob, is a modern HRIS designed for growing companies, especially those with hybrid or remote team. It combines HR management, performance tools, and payroll integrations, all with a clean, user-friendly design that employees actually like using. Pricing typically ranges from $6 to $8 per employees per month, making it more affordable than many competitors. For example, a creative agency with 300 employees spread across 3 countries might use Bob as their central hub to track time off, manage performance reviews, and integrate payroll. The strength of Bob is its flexibility and modern interface. Though it doesn't have the depth of a Workday or the global reach of a Deel, but for many mid-sized businesses, it still hits the sweet spot of affordability and usability. Finally, let's look at one of the most trusted options for small companies, BambooHR. BambooHR has been a favorite of small and mid-sized businesses for years, and it continues to deliver in 2025. It covers the basics: onboarding, performance reviews, PTO tracking, and even applicant tracking, all in a simple and affordable package. Pricing usually falls between $5 and $8 per employee per month. For a 50-person recruiting agency, BambooHR can manage everything from time off requests to new hire onboarding without overwhelming the HR manager. The trade-off is that BambooHR doesn't offer the advanced AI features of newer platforms, and it's not built for very large or global companies. But for smaller teams, it remains one of the most practical and user-friendly choices. So those are the 7 best HR tools to use in 2025. Workday is the heavy hitter for large enterprises. Rippling is the automation-first choice for startups and mid-sized companies. Deel is the go-to for global payroll and compliance. HR Acuity really fills the gap in employee relations and investigations. Culture Amp gives HR leaders the data they need to improve retention. Bob offers a modern and flexible system for hybrid companies. And BambooHR keeps things simple and affordable for small businesses. The bottom line is that no single tool is right for everyone. The right choice depends on your size, your budget, and your most pressing HR challenges. But what's clear is that in 2025, the best HR software doesn't just store information, it helps you work smarter, move faster, and build better workplaces. If you like this video and want to see more like it, give us a thumbs up. If you have other software that you love using that we didn't mention, comment down below. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.